Welcome to this afternoon's session, which is focused on referrals and internal mobility. My name's John Tridgell. I'm the EMEA Enterprise and Country Marketing Lead for LinkedIn Talent Solutions. I'm joined today by three great customers of ours, two of whom have flown in from Israel. So I'd like to introduce to you my colleagues. So we have Keren Yakir Harel from Nice Systems. We have Anat Kigel-Taub from Microsoft. And then from the UK, we also have Ashley Heaver from Enterprise RentACar. So referrals and internal mobility. It's a hot topic today. Really, both of these things are key strategies that companies are employing to really get the best out of their internal talent pools, to lower their cost of hiring, speed up time to hire, and improve quality of hire. Referrals are a great way of finding people who have a great affinity to your organization. Internal mobility is a great strategy for motivating your employees internally by giving them exposure to multiple functions within your business. It's also a great strategy for figuring out a future pipeline of leaders for your business. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a short Q&A with about 10 minutes with each of the panel members so that they can share with you some of the best practices from their organizations. And then, having done that, we're then going to go into audience Q&A and open up to questions from the floor. Okay, so I'm going to start with Keren. Now, one of the things that's customary at LinkedIn is when people join the company, we ask them to tell us something that's not on their LinkedIn profile. Now, I've done that with each of our three panelists. So I'll share the first item about Keren. Keren is a vegan. So I'd just like to check first up, did you eat today?
Yes.
We did cater for
thank you for
vegans.
a lovely vegan dish that someone made especially for me.
Which is fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
So why don't you start just by introducing Nice to the audience here if people haven't come across them, and tell us a little bit more about how you approach the topics of referrals and internal mobility.
Okay, so first of all, Nice is a global software enterprise company. We are 4,000 employees all around the world. We have 34 offices globally. We recruit around 600 to 700 people per year, mostly R&D, sales, and services role all around the world. These are very challenging roles to hire, and we find it very challenging to attract these kind of candidates outside. Therefore, we initiate few initiatives in the internal mobility and employee referral process, and I will start with the internal mobility. So we established a forum of HR and staffing for internal mobility in order to leverage the quality of internal candidates, and we're discussing hot people and hot jobs there.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so many organizations have internal mobility programs. It'd be interesting to hear a little bit more about what you've done that's maybe a little bit different.
Okay, so this is a very intimate forum. We meet together every month, the HR team and the staffing team. The HR manager brings a list of people that we think that need to be retained, since we really think that the best talents are within our company and we want to promote and retain them. And the staffing team brings a list of roles that can fit internal candidates. We actually do a very deep discussion on each and every candidate. What are the strengths, their weaknesses, what would we think that be the next step, and we match together the people and the roles. Once we find a match, we have a focal point from the staffing team who approach the candidate proactively and offer him a job, as we were an internal agency.
Fantastic. I love the way that you act as an internal agency in that way. it'd be interesting to hear a bit about what you've done in the area of referrals as well.
Okay, great. So we decided to take the proactive approach to the referral program as well, and we initiated LinkedIn parties. LinkedIn Party is actually an event where we can leverage the connection and the network of our employees and help them help us recruit better people. We invite them for a 30-minute meeting. We order a pizza or ice cream. We create a party environment in the room, and we ask them to open their laptops and go over their connection. The basic idea behind it is that usually when people refer their friends, they bring people they actually know, and their network is much more wider, and they have a lot of connection there from their past, education or experience. So they go over the network and they give us leads, and we, the staffing team, are approaching these candidates by our recruiter account through LinkedIn. And once someone gets accepted, the employee will get the employee referral bonus, of course. So it's a win-win situation.
Okay, great. Can you share a little bit about the successes that you've seen as a result of running these programs?
Yeah, sure. So I'll be happy to share many success stories, but I'll pick one from the internal mobility, for example. So we had an employee who worked as an education specialist. He was a trainer, but we know him as a very active in the social media. During the internal mobility forum, the staffing team raised a new role from the corporate marketing, the online marketing junior role, and due to our great relationship with this employee, we've decided to offer him the job. He got accepted immediately. It was very exciting. And actually, we believe that we were truly responsible for his career path, because he would never know about this kind of job, and he would not approach a marketing from the services unit. So it was a great success story, and we have many more of them.
Great.
Measurements?
Yeah. Well, I was going to come on and ask a question specifically about metrics.
Okay.
I think the anecdotal stories are great, but obviously you need to measure your results with some hard numbers.
Of course. So part of our KPIs is to measure our source mix. We established the staffing infrastructure only 3 years ago. So in 2012, we had around 20% employee referral, and today we are at 35%. Globally, and regarding the internal mobility, today we're standing now on 20% internal mobility hires, which is very good results.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks very much, Karen.
Thank you.
So now we're going to move on to Microsoft and hear a little bit from Anat. Now, I mentioned I'd asked the panel to share something that wasn't on their LinkedIn profile, and one thing that Anat told me is that she has a 4-month-old baby. And she is here in London with her husband, who is sitting in the front row just there. Hi, Nia. Is providing moral support. Now, Anat is obviously here to talk about Microsoft's strategy, but I'm guessing that you guys are also here in London catching up on a little bit of sleep. So I understand that Microsoft has evolved its referrals program over a period of time. So can you tell us a little bit more about how it came about?
Sure. When we are talking about a recruiting challenge at Microsoft, you should consider a few things. First of all, we are a huge company, and our hiring volume is getting higher each year. We are a global company. We work in different geo-hubs and different cultures. We recruit for various roles. We recruit engineering, machine learning, data scientists. We recruit sales and marketing person. And on top of all of that, Microsoft is operating in a compete market, and our brand perception is different in different geo-hubs. So with those challenges, we started exploring. We tried different techniques, app technology, invested large and small amount of money. But definitely in this social and global world, employee referral is the main in our talent acquisition strategy.
So it's a pretty key part of what you do. Can you tell us a little bit more about why it's become so important? And also maybe tell us what you've discovered along the way. I'm sure it's been a journey.
Sure. So let's start that the employee referral program is intended to recruit people from the outside. This is the obvious goal. Besides that, we want to bring back trust in the system and in our employee. So we have the best talent in the industry, and those kind of talent know how to bring their friends in. Candidates want to speak to employee, not sourcer, not recruiter. It's nothing personal, but they want to hear from the people that work how the day-to-day life looks like. In small and compete market like Israel or Ireland, for example, it truly makes the difference. It's a win-win situation. Our employees are proud to be working at Microsoft. They want to bring in their friend and they want to keep on working with the best talent. Of course, they are receiving a nice prize on the way, but we get great referrals. The last point is that not all candidates are created equal. At Microsoft, we have a core position for our business and roles that are pivotal for transforming our company. We need to take different action to recruit for core versus pivotal. When it comes to core talent, we know where to find them. We know the market, where they work, and how to approach them. When we are talking about pivotal candidates, those are the people that don't live in social media, they won't approach us directly, and let's be honest, 100% of the time they will work for someone else.
So, some great findings there. It would be interesting to hear a bit about how you've created visibility through your campaigns for your referrals program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So basically, I know employer referral program isn't new to anyone here, but I want to show you how it looks like inside Microsoft and how we manage it. So our program is divided to small, medium, large. Small stands for program reminder, medium give me their names, and large get me their CVs. The difference between small, medium, and large is the low versus high approach to our employees. I know budget is a sensitive thing, so I will show you how you can execute each type of campaign if you have no budget, low budget, or high budget. Before I deep dive into the examples, I want you to take into consideration 3 things. First of all, it's an ongoing program. There isn't the right time for the right talent. You need to adjust the statement to your specific employees. And the last thing, but it's truly important, you need your manager involvement. Employer referral program is not only for sourcers or recruiters. The example you are about to see are truly, we execute them in Microsoft worldwide. So let's start with the small campaign, a program reminder. If you have no budget, go for a mailer. Do a design one, add to it data regarding the program, your open positions. If you have low budget, do a printed reminder. Mailer can be extremely fast deleted or lost in the thousands of mail your employee are getting. If you do a printed one, it can be postcard, posters, magnets, whatever you like. Yes, your employee can throw it into the garbage or maybe draw on it while talking on the phone, but they are going to see it. If you have high budget, it's easy, go for a gift. We all like a gift, but do it a branded one. So if people will, if people will take it home, they will see that your company is recruiting. Here you can see 2 examples. We had a specific hiring volume for a specific site, so we gave away cool magnets. And for the branded giveaway, we gave away in this specific example a retro phone, but it could be anything, chocolate, flowers, whatever you like. Let's go for the medium campaign. Give me their names. If you have no budget, go to one-on-one sourcing meeting. It costs nothing beside the time of your employee and the sourcer or the recruiters. The cool thing about it is that you can choose the employee that you want to source with based on his former employee, years of experience. This kind of campaign also make the engagement between the sourcer or the recruiter and the employee stronger. That means he will continue refer you names. In let's say, half an hour meeting, we are usually generated around 20 relevant names. If you have low budget, go and educate your company. Teach them how to use LinkedIn, Twitter, GitHub, Stack Overflow, all social media. Teach them how to approach a candidate, how to engage with them, how to brand themselves, how to post their position, so they can be your company ambassadors. If you're asking yourself, why low budget? We are bringing in food and drink, so people will be happy and want to come. In, let's say, 45 minutes meeting like this with 10 to 15 employees, we are generated 150 relevant names. If you have high budget, again, do a competition so people will win prizes. The last type of campaign is a large one. Get me their CVs. If you have low budget, if you have no budget, sorry, again, go for a mailer, but this time do it a recognition. So mention people that help you and push your employee referral program. Believe me, the next mailer you send, people will want to be mentioned in those kind of mails. If you have low budget, go for a team competition. It's something that will bring manager and their employees together, and they can share an awesome prize. I can give you an example that we gave away a private chef dinner, and everybody was extremely happy. Mm-hmm. The ideal time for this kind of campaign will be a month. It gives your employee enough time to engage, look, and get your potential candidate CVs. If you have high budget, it's easy. Go for individual competition. Here you can see an example. The winning employee can choose between a French Riviera retreat, Formula One package, or a luxurious vacation in London. I know that you all want to know the winning employee chose London. I want to share with you some number of this kind of campaign. We received over 1,200 relevant CVs from 700 employees in this specific site. We had 95% in engagement. That means that 95% of our employees sent at least one relevant CVs. From this example, you can see we are totally data-oriented and always measuring our ROI. In the end, great employee referral program doesn't need to be complex or expensive. You need to pick a few things, and you will have an amazing one.
There's some great tactics there, and hopefully something that you can all take some benefit and some learnings from. And really interesting to hear as well about the range of different things that you can do, either on no budget or low budget or a high budget. So really useful stuff. So last question for you, Anat, is can you just summarize for us how you think an organization should go about building an employee referral program?
Okay. You need to create a great experience, both to your employee and the potential candidates you are approaching. Create an open, transparent, and accountable program. As you saw, budget isn't the issue. You can create an amazing program without any budget. If we are talking about money, money incentive isn't enough. If you are offering only cash prize, it will become transparent. So you need to change and offer your employee different things. We all like to think that our employees always think about our recruiting efforts. Well, they're not. They are working, they have their day-to-day life, so you need to always remind them that you are recruiting. And the last point, if you want them to recruit, give them the easiest way to do it. Good luck.
Fantastic, thank you. Now, a small round of applause. So let me introduce Ashley. Ashley is a very proud Leicester City fan. Very proud because they have just made this year they have just made it to 5th place in the Premiership here in the UK. That's football, if any of you are wondering, or soccer. Ashley, I know that at Enterprise you have a slightly different business model when it comes to talent. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, sure. So Enterprise RentACar arrived in the UK in 1994, and over 20 years on, we've continued to grow our branch network, and we've become one of the largest graduate recruiters in the UK and Ireland. And like I'm sure you've all heard over lunch and networking and from other speakers, we want to get the best and brightest talent. I think it's no different to any other industry or any other company. And our business model is slightly different, as you said. We hire and train motivated people to run their own business by delivering exceptional customer service. We know that completely satisfied customers come back and tell others about it, like you heard this morning in the keynote session. And that allows our local businesses to really grow. As our local businesses grow, we're able to open up new branches, new opportunities, and hire more people. And then as employees advance through their career, we're able to financially reward them as well. We've got a great team of leaders from our owner and CEO and founding family member, Andy Taylor, to all of our business unit directors as well. And people at Enterprise really, they can change jobs as often as they change their clothes without really having to move career. Without having to move company, sorry. Everyone starts at the bottom on our management trainee program and works their way up through the system. So to try and put that be able to visualize it a bit without a slide. I left university with a 2-2 in criminology, so already my mum was very proud of me. I then decided I was going to rent cars for a living, so I moved right to the top of number one son. And then I started as a management trainee with Enterprise in our Loughborough location, which is smack bang in the middle of England. Was promoted to assistant manager at 2 different locations, and then promoted to branch manager, and again I was manager at 2 different locations. Then took a completely different career move and was our recruitment supervisor for East of England, and then training and development supervisor. Took another career move and was promoted to area manager in East Anglia, so had 6 different locations, over 50 employees. And then again took another career move and was promoted to our European recruitment manager based down in our offices in Surrey. And then 2 years ago promoted into the position I am now, so managing all of talent acquisition across the UK and Ireland. Real big focus on diversity, and sit on our leadership team as well for UK and Ireland. In that, I made 4 or 5 different relocations doing that, and my career path isn't really that unusual. And as a business, it's really important for us to have leaders who have a great story to tell, and I think we've heard a lot about storytelling over the past couple of days, and really live our values as a business, and that to us is more important, and we're happily train someone on how to use a specific computer system.
That's great. It's great to hear your own personal story. It really helps to illustrate. So how important is talent attraction on the front end? And could you tell us a bit more about the tools you have for employees internally so that they can decide where their future lies?
Yeah, definitely. Our business model will not work if we don't get the right people in at the front end and are attracting the right people. Over the past 12 months, we've recruited over 1,000 graduates and interns into our management trainee program across the UK and Ireland. And we also have to have we have sort of major ways in which we do that. Employee referrals are really big for us. This year, over 30% of all our hires are from employee referrals. We have to have a website, and more importantly, great content on that website to allow potential candidates to really select in or select out of working or hitting that apply now button. We also do a lot out on university campuses. Last year, we got in front of, thousands of students. We did over 350 different events out on campus. And right from the offset, we're talking about mobility. As I've mentioned, storytelling is really important to us. We have to be able to have people to tell these stories, and we're even more successful when we do that in front of people rather than necessarily seeing it just on our website. All of our senior leaders have made at least one big move in their career, and it's unheard of really for someone to have got into a senior position without doing that, and all very tenured in the business. The average length of service at that level is around 25 years. And just to add, if I stayed in Loughborough my whole career, I wouldn't have had the career opportunities that I've been given today through Enterprise. Some of the tools that we have really to encourage that mobility piece is one that is very originally named My Career Site. So that's a site for our employees, and it's open to everyone to really use as a resource to find out about the mobility within the company. So on that, there'll be, we have different things such as a career conversation guide, which is something that employees can use to really talk to their line managers about careers, and again, for their line managers to talk to their employees about how to move in certain areas. We also have a personal career assessment, and that's a self-reflection exercise for all of our employees to use and work through to really find out what skills they've got, what are they good at, what strengths, and what do they really enjoy doing, and that really helps them really decide where they want their career path to go. And we also have toolkits on there to help employees put in their application pack together, how to be effective in their interviews, and how to follow up after an interview as well. We have relocation guides and policies on there, and also some really good profiles of employees in the business who have made those moves. On the back of that, we recently did our first mobility conference for over 60 employees within Enterprise. It was really important for us to get a good mix of employees, so those that were willing to move and those that were not willing to move. And at the conference, we had some great exercises, great discussions going on. We had employees on a panel that had made that relocation. We also invited their spouses or partners, because that's something that's really important with mobility. It's not just the employee, it's also the family, etc., when looking to make that relocation. Some great networking with our senior leaders, and then interview skills workshop as well. Great feedback, and I know we're talking about metrics. Over 30% of those people that attended have since made a relocation for promotion. Our talent acquisition team manage all of our internal promotions. We make sure that all of our employees have a great, and the experience is really transparent for them as well. Giving you some numbers, we've had, our retention's been strong. We've stayed at 70 to 80% over the last 12 months. And so far this year, we've had over 9,000 internal promotions, which by the end of the calendar year will be around 13,000. And as well as that, we've just introduced a new metric. So it's not all about getting people to move necessarily for promotion, but will they make lattice moves, etc. And of our 90,000 employees, over 35,000 of them are new to job this year. And we've had over 500 global relocations as well. So what we do and how we attract, everything needs to work for our business to be successful going forward.
It's impressive. I mean, it sounds like you've got some great tools. Sounds like you're rocking it, but I'm guessing there were probably some challenges along the way. Can you maybe share?
We don't have challenges.
None at all. No,
none whatsoever.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's been obviously a few challenges along the way. One of these challenges is that time we have to sell Enterprise to our employees. I think even 5 years ago, we probably had 2 or 3 years in which to sell Enterprise and the opportunities in the career development. Now, I think it's 12 to 18 months. To counter that, we've worked very closely with our line managers, really educating them and training them on the new graduates that are coming into the business, and also ensuring that we have a really robust onboarding plan for all employees, no matter what level, what position, whether they're new to the company or just new to job. Another major challenge which we faced in the past is that, I'm sure some of you may have heard of it, is that post and pray. So your line manager comes running into your office, I need a European pricing manager yesterday. And what we would do is we'd post the job and pray that we'd get some applications, and then, shock horror, they'd be surprised when we didn't get any. So we worked very closely with line managers and with talent acquisition to really look at when they're posting a job, they talk to the talent acquisition team, they look at what skills, what competencies they need in that particular role, and before they post it out, making sure that they're speaking to other department heads and line managers to really know what talent pool is going to apply for that before the job's even gone out. One success we've also had is that on our jobs that we post internally, we put the link to My Career site to really encourage our employees to use it. And then we've also started attaching employee profiles onto job adverts. So a great success was with that European pricing role. We put 2 job descriptions out there on the job, and we've just filled the positions, and both have cited how those employees currently in the role really helped them make that decision to hit apply now. I think another challenge is the cost, not only for the employee to move, but also, when I mentioned it earlier, their family as well. So we've worked on that. We, again, did some internal focus groups, and we've really been able to look at our relocation policies and change some of the remuneration that we've been able to offer employees. Other challenges that I think most companies would have is junior line managers really wanting to keep hold of their talent and not always understanding the bigger picture and pushing them towards promotion. As we mentioned earlier, employees not always reading their emails, so just deleting that job. And from a diversity perspective as well, females will maybe sometimes look at a job description and think, I've only got 5 or 6 of those qualifications, and so self-select out of that process. And something else is our BAME female population. Often they have family pressures and they're not always able or willing to make that relocation. So yeah, we have a few challenges.
A few. So the question that springs to mind next is really where are you going to take things next? I mean, what programs do you have upcoming in the area of internal talent and mobility?
Yeah, we've got a couple of things going on. We have all, again, heard over 2 days the importance of data and analytics, and that's something that we consider really important to us as a business. I think we do a good job, but I think there's room for improvement with our data and really being able to find that top talent and analyse where they come from. Are they from employee referrals? Are they direct from university? How have they performed in the business previously? And then we're close to launching something as well, which will help us immensely. So we need a French or Spanish-speaking data analyst to come and work in London. We'll be able to populate that details into our system, and voila, we have our talent. So we're not just hoping that people are going to apply to that job advert. We have that talent pool where we can be the headhunter as such and start making those calls beforehand to talk to them individually about that particular job.
It's a great story. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to say thank you to everyone here, and I think we will give them a round of applause.